just come to see in beach today. Legend has it there used to be a glass factory or something, and they used to dump all the waste into the sea. And over the years, it's all been broke up by the tide and smoothed off. And there's like little gemstones in the sand apparently, so I've been told. So there's already people here now digging for it, so we'll go see what we can find.
I hope the sea doesn't come up this far.
Legend is correct. Like little diamonds in the sand. A bit optimistic when we came, brought that bag to fill, never been before, so this is what whole treasures are. For them treasures. Oh.
Well, we're back from what was an absolutely fantastic Easter dinner, and I have picked my dandelions, and I've sat there and I've picked all of the green bits off them. So in here it should only be mostly yellow. There's a few bits of green that you can see there, but not the big thick stems that are on the bottom of the flower. So I'm going to get these infused in water. You steep them in simmering water for 15 minutes, and then I'm just going to leave them overnight till tomorrow. Then I'll strain them and crack on. So I'll show you what that looks like. If it's any good and if I like it, I'll do a separate video on that. So looking forward to seeing what this turns out like. And tomorrow, which is Monday for me, but you'll see it the day after, I've got a big cooking morning planned as well. I've got stock that's going on, lots of canning on the night, all different things like that. So I'm going to get prepared for that now, because I need to get some things out of the freezer to get me ahead for tomorrow. Give you an example of how one job leads to another on the small holding. Well, I suppose in any life. This blooming vegetable gate's been left open again. So I need to go and do the horse field. So we take the muck out of the field. Good, land management as best we can. It soon builds up, and I keep it just in a separate place so that it's just a pile of horse manure. It's not all the shavings and everything. We've got loads of different muck heap style things. Anyway, that's not what I'm on about. So I thought, right, I'm going to go in the field and get busy with that. But in order to do that, I want to take the horses down some hay, because now our old girl needs extra food. So I thought I'll take them down some hay. Well, to do that, I need to open a bale. To do that, I need to tidy the barn, because where I want to put the new bale needs tidying because of all the extra work that we've been doing and clearing out the sheep pen. So now I've got 15 minutes while the dandelions are simmering, and I've got to get the barn tidied after I turn the range off where the dandelions are on, so I can go into the field and take some hay down and get busy with all the other things that I need to do. So one job is never just one job. Oh man. I've got my trusty broom, and what I've decided to do is all of the barn sweepings, which are down here, I'm actually going to take them down to the bottom plot where I was working yesterday with the potatoes, and I'm going to use it as pathways. So I'm not sure if that'll make the rat or mouse problem any worse, because it might give them somewhere else to live. But essentially, I want somewhere to walk on in between where the onions and the potatoes are. And I think this will do well, because then I can also use it for around the strawberries too. I've got some around the garlic, if you remember. Anyway, it's too good to go on the compost, and it's not good enough for feed for the horses or anything, because they just won't eat it. So rather than waste it or try and find somewhere else to keep it, I'm literally shoveling it into the barrow. And then, I'm going to use it as pathways before I then get the horses feed. I've done all of this, and I've decided to leave the hay bale where it is. I didn't even need to start it in the first place. But it did need doing. So then, make some pathways down the bottom and get the horses something to eat. Can you see my thinking? Or do you think I'm crazy? So these are the potatoes. And these are the asparagus ferns. And then this is the straw from the barn. So this is a pathway. So when these take off, this will suppress the pathway, and I'll still be able to harvest the garlic from this side if I stand on this. What do you think? I've created myself a big mess. Anyway, I'm going to go refill this barrow with fresh hay off the bale that I've just opened for the horses, get them occupied in the field, and I'll also sneak some food in for the big girl, because if the little pony sees it, then he wants it and there'll be a scrap. So if he thinks it's just hay, he won't be as interested. So I'll give him some and sneak her a bowl of food underneath her hay so she can have it in peace, hopefully, and then get all the droppings out of the field, and then we'll see where we go to from then. I'm being watched. That's Nettle, our orphan lamb. She was raised in the house as a baby. Well, what happened was she was rejected by her mum. She was a triplet, and so she was rejected, but thankfully we got there before anything happened, because the mum actually tried to kill her. Anyway, she obviously knew she was the weakest link, so Grace snuck her into the house, and this bloomin' sheep, or lamb at the time, lived in the house for weeks and weeks, thinking she's a dog, so she lived with the dogs. And then when it came time to actually put her out after she'd been bottle fed and she could go back with them, she thought she was a flippin' dog and didn't want to go out. So as soon as we put her out, she sat at the fence all day long, looking across at the dogs, like, why have you put me out here with all these weird sheep? I want to be with the dogs. Anyway, that was a funny story. Here's Grace now. She's going to give me a hand with the field. All done. Oh dear. We put the muck it's literally just poo, just the horses, and this goes over as part of the trees that we've got, and keep that separate, and it just creates new ground. Oh no, I got stuck. So this is last year's. As you can see, it just literally goes on the ground. There's a little mound there that the grass is starting to grow back on, and the nettles. But yeah, just literally creates new ground, and then we'll work it all the way along through the woods there, and all good. The pigs won't feed in. It's so noisy.